What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be coming at you with my pure Tenyi deck. It's a pretty fun deck, I believe. Not really that competitive. You can probably take it to your locals and have a good time with it, but don't expect to beat like all the meta decks. It's a really good rogue deck. If your opponent doesn't know what the deck does or doesn't know how to play the meta deck they're playing, you could definitely like steal a win. But for the most part, it's just a fun casual deck you can play. So yeah, guys, I've been testing this a lot on like Dueling Book. It's done pretty well. I really like the play style of the deck. The artwork's really cool, as you guys can see. It reminds me a lot of Yang Zing. I am a huge fan of Yang Zing. So yeah, guys, without further ado, I'll get on with the list. So first off, we play Triple Ashuna. So the first effect of all the Tenyis are all the same, and the second effect is sort of the same. They just differ like what the effects do. So the first part is if you control a non-effect monster, like a normal monster, or if you control no monsters at all, you can just special summon them. And then they each have an effect. If you control a non-effect monster, you can banish them from the hand or the graveyard attack to trigger their effect. And this one says when it's you can banish it to special summon another Tenyi from your deck. So this just it's a good play starter. Helps you tutor your deck for any other Tenyi you need. It's like a lone fire blossom of the deck. That's how I kind of think of it as. Next we play Triple Adhara. You guys probably know this if you play the rock deck. This one says you can banish it to add one of your banished Tenyis to your hand. So if you already use this effect, you can banish this to add this back. So next one you can use this effect again. So it's a level 1 tuner also, so it helps you go into level 8 synchros. Next we play Vishuddha. This is one that a lot of you may know if you guys play Orcus. This one says you can banish it if you control a non-effect monster to target a card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So it's really good for breaking boards and going second, and getting rid of stuff that came with the short card effects. So that's that. Next we play, for the non-3-ofs, we play 2 Shathana. Shathana says that when one of your non-effect monsters destroy a battle or card effect, you can banish this to special summon that monster back and then destroy one monster your opponent controls. So it's a good way for recurring your resources as well as breaking your opponent's board. So that's 2 of. And there's a spell card in the deck that pitches a lot of your Tenyis, so that's why I don't max out on the utility ones. I only max out on the ones that are that you don't mind using their effect every turn. And then 2 Mapura. I think that's how you pronounce this one. Yeah, this one says if your Tenyi or if your non-effect monster be targeted by a card effect, you can banish this to negate that activation and destroy it. So stuff like Imperm, you can stop. The Golden Lord's effect from his hand to like send one card you control, you can hit that. Stuff like that has its uses. And then for the last one, we play 1 Nahada. This one says when a non-effect monster you control battles, you can reduce the monster that battles by 1500. So if your opponent attacks near your monster, you can just banish this to give them minus 1500. I'll just play 1 of it because once it you trigger it, your opponent's gonna like watch out for it, so they're gonna try and like clear your board before attacking. So that's why I feel like just 1's enough. And then we play just 1 Mare because you can special summon it off Yazi, and it helps you go into your link plays. Just play 1 of because you don't really want to draw it. I might play 2 though because you don't want to draw, but if you do, you want to have another one in deck. If that makes sense. And then for hand traps, we play Triple Ash Blossom and Triple Ghost Ogre. The Ghost Ogre is just really good against Numeron, and the Ash is good against everything else. And then I'll get to the field spell in a bit, which will explain why I play 6 monster hand traps. So then for the field spell, it's triple Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So this one says that your non-effect monsters are unaffected by monster effects. And if your monster with special summon a effect monster, you can draw 2 cards. That effect is once per turn. So having like hand traps in your deck is really good because if your opponent special summons something, you can just draw into your hand traps. So that you can potentially interrupt your opponent's plays. I play 3 of this. There's a guy I watch on YouTube called Just Nuts. You guys should check him out. He's pretty cool. Him and I have the same liking of decks. We like to play like stun decks. So he was playing 2 of these because of the new Roto we got. But I still think 3's necessary in my opinion because I just want to see this card. So that's these guys. Next off, we play 2 Vessel. This one says you can send 1 war monster from your deck to grave. And then if you, I believe it says, if you control a non-effect monster, you can add a Tenyi to your hand. So you can also send, plus you can add 1. So this card is really good for generating an advantage and setting up your graveyard to protect your link monsters. And then we play 2 Heavenly Dragon Circle. The first effect doesn't really come up where you can tribute a worm monster to special summon another worm monster, but the second effect says you can banish it from the grave to search for a Tenyi card. So that's the second effect you really want to abuse. especially with the Foolish Burial Goods, because it turns Foolish Burial Goods into a terraforming, or you can search this with it too. So it turns this into like pretty much any card in your deck. So that's why you max out on. I don't max out on this because you don't really want to draw. You just want to use it with Foolish Burial Goods. You could play Foolish Burial Goods at 3, but since it's a once per turn, I feel like it's just good at 2. And then we play the 1 Terraforming just because I really want to see the field spell at all times. And then for traps, we play 2 Fists of the Unraveling Tenyi. This says it's pretty much a Solemn Judgment if you control a non-effect monster. And if it's destroyed, you can summon 1 non-effect monster from your extra deck. So it's searchable now with the with Foolish Burial Goods. So it's pretty good in that regards. And also if you hard draw the Dragon Circles, you can always use it search next turn. So it's just a good counter trap. And then we play triple Imperm. I know Imperm doesn't really fit in with the whole play style because a lot of times if you draw it with the field spell, you won't be able to activate it. But I just wanted non-hand traps going second, so that's that. And then one of my personal favorite techs, triple Dynamiscus. I like playing Dynamiscus in the deck because if you summon it back by its special summoning effect, it's considered a normal monster. And then its effective discard is really good for fueling your graveyard with your Tenyis. And it's just another piece of disruption. So that's that. And then last but not least, we play 1 Skill Drain because all your monsters activate in Grave or your hand, so you're able to control the board with your non-effect monsters. And then for the extra deck, we play triple Monk. He just takes 1 Tenyi monster. He's coming Secret Rare in the tin, which I'm pretty happy about. But he's pretty much like your quote-unquote boss monster because you're always making him and just like protecting him with all your other Tenyi effects. And then I think the real boss monster is triple Berserker. Honestly, you don't have to play 3, but I just play 3 because I want this deck to be as pure Tenyi as possible. He's just a 3k beat stick that takes 2+ monsters, including a Link monster. So you just make him with like your field spell backed up with a bunch of Tenyis in your grave or hand, and you pretty much just like protect him. Especially if you have Skill Drain up too. That's kind of like play style, just like a beatdown kind of play style, which I really like. And then we play 1 Shaman. This card just helps you recur your resources and like go for damage and stuff. Then we play 1 Master. Masters allows you to pop cards, so it's good for like breaking boards. And then we play 1. I'm not even gonna pronounce this guy. This guy really looks like a Yang Zing. Sahara. He just helps you generate tokens and helps you go into other Link plays. He's really good. Then we put 1 Gaia Saber. This should be a Land Fornicus. I just couldn't find mine. But this just takes 2+ monsters. So it's like if you have like any of the synchros up, and you're trying to get them in the grave to have a normal monster, you can just summon this out. Then we play 2 Draco Berserker. You guys probably don't know what this guy does. It says if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish that card. And then when he attacks, he gains the attack of a monster, and then he can attack again. So he's like your like a mini Boral Sword. And then we play 2 Baxia, just because when this is summoned, you can target monsters your opponent or target cards your opponent controls up to the number of different worm monsters you used, and then bounce those cards to the deck. So usually you make them with Ahara and Shithana, so you can or not Ahara and Shithana, the level 7 when that special summons from the deck, and then the level 1 tuner, so you can bounce 2 cards. So it's really good for breaking boards. And then we play 1 Yazi. Just being able to pop something by tributing it and then summoning your Merriman is really good. So that's the deck, guys. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys like another like change of pace, not really like competitive deck profile. Because last week I posted a Numeron deck, so I wanted to post something a little more casual for you guys, so you don't really want to play competitive. So you guys, please like the video, comment, subscribe.